Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight.
Production.
Check it, you know. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Spontaneous one. We're back on this Monday episode with the rumor mill. That's right, the rumor mill. Seems that the photographer of Conor McGregor has come out. He's given his side of the story, and he says, hey, there's no conspiracy against Paulie Malignaggi. That's just unadulterated power. Do we believe it? Is it true? I mean, did he really do it? I don't know. Could he really have the power to knock down Paulie Malignaggi? Is Paulie really scrambling to save his career here, or ego? I don't know. My question to you is, if it was done and it's true and he left the camp, why not drop the footage? But I'm going to go out to my co-host in the West Coast, the Golden State, the Hipster Hunter.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. Conor McGregor's photographer now coming out saying that there's no conspiracy, like Ness said. I don't know what to think about this. If there is a knockdown, you don't need to put out the full sparring or the full sparring session, all 12 rounds. You don't need to do that. You can literally put out a 10-second clip, and you can leak it again, and then we get a confirmation. Like, there is an element here where I'm like,
Matt,
why not just release that little bit of a knockdown? That's all we
Matt,
need. We don't
there's
need
people that didn't see you. You used air quotes.
Sorry, air quotes. Yeah, I use air quotes. Sorry. For the leak, because let's be honest, that picture was leaked on purpose. Let's just be real. Now, however, is there an element here where the discussion of, man, did it really happen? Is that driving interest to where the McGregor team is going, look, we don't need to say anything because just the mystery of the event and this whole situation is selling itself? That could be at play here. I don't know how much. Again, I have really no metrics to say. If they did release the video, it would be this X amount of more pay-per-view buys. And if they didn't release the video, it would be this. Like, we don't know. We will never know, possibly. But I would like to see the video if there is, or at least that snippet. If it is just pure power, like the photographer says, put it out there. I want to see.
I'm with you, Matt. You could drop an Instagram clip. You know what I mean? What was the first Instagram rule? Like 15 seconds? Drop the Instagram clip. Show that it's not a push. What about show the punch and the knockdown? And then that'll be like 4 seconds. But whatever. I mean, I think regardless, it's doing its job. But I'll ask you this. Right? Yeah, it's getting everyone to talk. I mean, Paulie's come out. I'm going to have audio of that in a few. And he's called Conor all types of things. Arrogant. Said that their camp is weird. Spoke about not being paid. So many things. But I'll ask you, you know, here we are doing a show and every other media outlet doing something on this topic of the photographer saying. But I got to ask you, Matt, I mean, isn't the photographer supposed to say the same thing that team Conor is alleging?
Well, yeah, and plus he is a part of that team. He runs the Mac Life, which is an outlet, I believe, as well. Like he helps run that that Twitter account as well. So, in my opinion, he is just as part of that team as the coaches, his stablemates, his longtime sparring partners like Artem Lobov, etc., Gunnar Nelson. All those guys are his team, right? I would assume this photographer is just as close with them as with Conor as they are. Again, I think the idea that this is not a conspiracy, it's at least orchestrated in some way. The idea that there's no behind-the-scenes discussions, Conor's not talking to any of these people and saying, at least, why are you doing this? Or, oh, we're going to do this. You know, there has to be some sort of discussions here. Either Conor's saying, hey, I haven't been telling you guys to do this, or he is telling these people to do these things. So I don't know really where it's at. I don't think it really matters, but I think there's obviously some sort of orchestration behind the scenes into this buildup. Like, let's not be ignorant here. These both Mayweather and McGregor are some of the smartest businessmen prize fighting has ever seen. That's just a fact. So the idea that the idea that what we are seeing right here is not orchestrated or not fabricated by these two men, or at least one of them, I think would be ignorant. I think this is a beautiful move on their part to sell this fight.
Agreed. All publicity is good publicity. I think that it can't be orchestrated. And if it is, partially. I think that Malignaggi's responses, his lash outs.
Oh, that's not orchestrated. That's not orchestrated.
Yeah, I think that's been genuine. He went as far as to say that McGregor doesn't know how to treat his team. He's saying that the living quarters for the sparring partners was horrible. And he said he's been in not $100 million training camp, but just simple $1 million training camps. And never has he nor other sparring partners been put through whatever they were put through. Now, I wonder what, right? Like, he didn't really say, he just said living quarters, you know, the way he's treating the sparring.
Now, is it him or the entire team?
What do you mean?
Like, is he living in shitty living quarters, or is it his?
Well, he's saying sparring partners. He's saying sparring partners because obviously they all, you know, just like when we went to Camp Cunningham, there's living quarters.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
I'm sure Paulie was given one of the rooms, you know.
Then I know that McGregor has a mansion out there, so I would assume, like every camp, his whole team lives and trains in Vegas in that Mac mansion. I would assume Paulie was living there. If he's not, then I don't know where he's living, because his team usually lives with him.
Yeah, I doubt they were going to have Paulie living with Conor. When Conor was on All Access, he's like, I brought him in to whoop his ass. That's what I did. So it didn't look like he was trying to be friendly at all.
But again, that's also just what they portray to us. We don't know. We really don't know what happened there. I think most of us think that Paulie was really brought in there to be made an example of and to be used in this way for publicity. Right? Like, I really don't think there was a legitimate feeling in McGregor's camp or team that, hey, let's get Paulie in here, let's get that advice, let's get that work in, it's really going to help us. That doesn't seem real, right?
No, but I do want to see if I can go to some audio. Obviously, I was listening to this already, so I want to bring it back.
And he'll be working the pay-per-view broadcast for Showtime Boxing. Brooklyn's own Paulie Malignaggi. And you go out to Vegas, and I read in the paper, I'm on vacation, that you and Conor spar, gets nasty. I'm like, oh, we better get the story I did on him on the air. We do. You guys spar again, and all of a sudden, Pictures were posted to social media. You're not happy, and here you are on the
Yeah.
couch talking to us.
Yeah.
You left camp and you quit his camp. So what happened?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, only his photographers are allowed in the gym, so they're gonna get pictures favorable to him, and I don't mind that. You know, you're in your
This
training
is the
camp.
picture we're talking
Yeah, I
about.
don't
You
mind
weren't
that.
happy about that.
Well, I wasn't happy because he knows and I know it wasn't from a punch. You know, he was actually frustrated from getting beaten up that particular day, and that was actually a shove down, a push down, and I think even the referee wasn't allowed to talk about it. I mean, listen,
Matt, let's stop it there. I mean, Paulie said he was actually frustrated from getting beat up. Is that possible? You know MMA more than me. I don't watch McGregor. I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing fan, true and true. So, you know, I'm giving McGregor no shot. But his opponent isn't named Paulie Malignaggi. Can Paulie also beat him up the way that he's saying he could? Or, you know, I mean, is there any truth to this? Is basically my
Yeah, there's a possibility. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Again, I just don't know what is truth and what is not in this entire buildup. Let's just for me personally, that's my honest opinion. I have really no idea what is true and what is not in this buildup. But I think it's possible. Paulie's a great boxer in terms of skill, knowledge, IQ.
But without the power.
True, but I mean,
can he really beat someone up without the power? I mean, think about a pro Paulie fight. And I mean, professional Paulie Malignaggi fight where he did get the win. Which one of his career wins can you say he beat the guy up? I'll go out and say, I think it's Sinchenko. What's Sinchenko's first name? He beat him in the UK. He bust up his eye really good. And that was the first time I ever seen Paulie swell someone's face. Until then, I didn't even know he can do that. So, you know, shout out to Paulie for that one. It was in enemy territory. It was in the UK, and he won a legitimate title. So that's the first time I seen him, like, you know, where that phrase fits this. It fits him. It's like, oh yeah, Paulie did beat up that guy. But is Sinchenko like McGregor? McGregor's like 175.
But he's not walking around 175 right now. Come on. He's 3 weeks out from the fight. He's probably at least 165, I would assume. He's probably within 10, 15 pounds of his weight. Not 20 pounds. That would be an insane amount of weight that he would still have to cut. I think Paulie, again, we've seen Conor spar professional boxers before. We've seen him spar Chris Van Heerden, and he got touched up quite a bit in that sparring session. And it's Paulie. So Paulie could always be hyperbolic, but I think that Paulie at least touched him up a bit. Paulie had his shots, definitely. Like, we can assume that, can we not?
I would assume, you know, his jab has always been his bread and butter. So I would assume with a guy that has such a wide, you know, stance, or not wide, untraditional boxing guard. I would assume that maybe some jabs landed.
Yeah, I would assume as well. And I would also assume that we're not getting the full story from either side. I don't think we're getting the full story here, because obviously we're having a he said, she said sort of a discussion here, right? Like, we have the only evidence we have is a picture, and that picture proves nothing. So, you know, in the court of public opinion, I don't know who's going to win. I think Conor's probably going to win because his public is bigger than the Paulie public, you know, in terms of support. You know, think about how many people we get on a Conor show or a Mayweather show where they are an MMA fan. You can clearly tell in the comment section and their calls and the live chat that they're an MMA fan. They're here because of Conor. It's a huge influx of them into the boxing scene right now. They're going to win out in the court of public opinion. Especially with this photographer now saying, yeah, he was knocked down to his power. We're going to get that. We're going to get that narrative. That Paulie's butthurt, that he had a bruised ego, and they can't put out the video because they don't want to give anything away. They can't give away the money shot that he knocked down Paulie with, because he might knock down Mayweather with that. You know, we're going to get that narrative. Like, it's already set in stone, or at least the ball's already rolling to that. We're going to get that narrative at the end of this.
Now, can you really say you beat someone up if their face isn't bruised up? Because, I mean, obviously McGregor is controlling the photos, but someone has to have taken a picture of him with a black eye. I mean, how does Paulie beat him up? No marks on that white face. It's a little strange. You know, your complexion, your fair skin complexion like that is easier to mark up, bruise, redden. You know, I don't see any of that, especially not on All Access, especially not on any leaked photo, not on his Instagram.
Yeah, and then you can also add in the context of the different type of headgear being used. You know, obviously Paulie had an open face guard.
He did. Speak of the open face. Let's go back to some more audio, see if it leads us down any interesting topics.
I think at the end of the day, sparring should stay in the gym. I didn't go around. I wouldn't have went around talking about how I beat up Conor McGregor on Tuesday if I wasn't forced to. You know
Can
what
he
I'm saying?
fight? That's what I want to know.
He can definitely fight. I mean, he's a mixed martial arts champion. He can definitely fight. As far as boxing is concerned, I'm not going to tell you he can't box. You know, I'm not going to say that. He understands what he wants to do and how he wants to do it, but he's got to progress. You know, there's things he's got to come along with, and it's not so easy to come along that fast all this way through. My problem with Conor is his arrogance. You know, his arrogance is to the point where he can't make progress. He can't learn. You know, because he just wants a bunch of yes men around him. He doesn't want to be told he's doing something wrong. He doesn't want to be told that, you know, he needs to make progress or he needs to change certain things. Whatever he's doing, he wants to just be told how great he's doing.
So you and Mayweather.
That sounds interesting.
The whole yes man thing.
He wants a bunch of yes men. He doesn't want. He feels also that he can't get better because of how arrogant he is.
Well, just to use MMA evidence to maybe counter that. Obviously, the first Nate Diaz fight, he was submitted, right?
Mm-hmm.
He invited Dylan Danis, one of the most premier Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the world. You know, for pound, he's in that discussion for Jiu-Jitsu wise right now. He invited him into camp, the entire camp, and trained with him religiously to improve his Jiu-Jitsu. So there's just a clear example right there that he's willing to do it at least. The narrative of Conor has yes men. I feel like we're gonna get that narrative with any superstar. Like Floyd has that narrative.
Very true.
But Floyd's still 49-0 and still making $300 million a fight.
And very arrogant. You know, arrogance sometimes can be confused. And actually it's confidence. Your confidence in yourself. Matt, again, I don't know Conor. Can him thinking, all right, I beat up Malignaggi, he's a former 2 division champion, and again taking into context what Malignaggi said about him being able to, you know, that he is a good fighter, but as far as boxing is concerned, it's you know, still up in the air on whether or not he could learn because of that arrogance. But again, we don't know what to believe in Paulie's statement, right? And in one sentence, he's saying he's a good boxer. In another sentence, he's saying he whooped his ass on Tuesday.
He's clearly biased, right? Like, and he is clearly jaded, I would say. Like, he is making a big deal of this, I think, because he is somewhat emotional about it. And that's not a knock on it. I think anyone in this situation would be emotional, would be upset that they're getting painted a certain way when they got invited to camp. I understand where it's coming from, but
especially when you're with that intention to help.
Which he definitely seemed like he wanted to. He definitely seemed like he wanted to go in there and help.
Or Matt, was he just laying that out beforehand so that the sparring wasn't as intense, knowing all the shit that he talked, knowing that he said he would tie his hands or he didn't need a leg? Malignaggi went on a limb. I mean, obviously in this interview, he says he only said that to try and get the fight, though.
Of course. And remember, at that point, everyone in the boxing world was being talked about with Conor McGregor. So I understand what Paulie was saying back then, and Paulie has always had a way with words. So I feel like that was par for the course. But the idea that he backpedaled, which is kind of what you're saying, right? That he backpedaled on that to try to not get beat up in sparring. Is that what you're trying to say? But by him, when he was announced that he wasn't going to go to the camp, and he was all nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so like when it got announced that, oh yeah, we're gonna invite you to the camp, and then he's probably like, wait a minute, this guy's 175 is fucking big as hell. You know what?
I gotta be nice.
Nice before this guy does exactly what he said in All Access. It's like, yo, he talked a bunch of shit. I invited him here. I whooped his ass. That's it. It's over. Because maybe that's all Conor ever wanted. You know, And again, Paulie wanted a fight. So now he got a fight without the check. So yeah, why not be like, hey, I don't know. Hey, Conor, let's be friends. But look, I want to address what the internet trolls are taking to, I don't know, discredit Conor McGregor in some way or belittle him or say that he made a wrong decision, right? Like the magnitude of this fight, I think it was absolutely
wrong decision about what?
I'm going there.
Okay.
I think that it was the appropriate thing to do in renting the Lamborghini. Paulie Malignaggi mentioned the Lamborghini being rented, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is, again, he questioned Conor being cheap. He called him cheap. He didn't question it. He said he's cheap. He's not taking care of sparring partners. He hasn't paid me. They're living like shit, but he's driving around in a rented Lamborghini. So the internet is like, oh, he's renting. But it's like, yo, if I don't fucking live in Vegas, but I got good taste and I don't want to drive around in an Avis rental, I rent a Lamborghini in Vegas. That doesn't make
why you got throw shade on Avis, man?
I'm just saying, Enterprise fucking rental, whatever rental car. I don't want an American Chevy. I'm kind of fucking McGregor. I want a green Lamborghini to stick the fuck out. I don't get what's wrong with people. Rich people spend money. Why is that a problem?
I don't think it's a big deal.
And well, I mean, Paulie too. He tried to take a dig at him, like, oh, he's not paying us, but he's renting Lamborghini. Like Paulie. I mean, on that level, that's what
Conor's made more money than Paulie has in his entire career.
Well, he will now after this, right?
I would say already at this point.
Well, because of the pay-per-view buys, absolutely.
Yes. He remember Conor got a portion of all those pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And he did like 4 pay-per-views back to back, all over $1 million in 1 year.
God. I just want to ask everyone that's watching, I know you're enjoying the show, and it would be amazing if you can translate that by hitting the thumbs up button and also sharing this on your social media, Facebook, anywhere like that. But definitely hitting the thumbs up button would be a big plus to us. We would love for the amount of people watching kind of match the thumbs up. I know that's hard, but yes. All right, so I'm not mad at the Lamborghini, and plus for this fight, you got Mayweather. He's got all the cars. He's got. This is Mayweather's lifestyle. So Conor is like the best. I said it before. People are inboxing me about it, but I think he's the best Mayweather opponent we've gotten till date. And I believe it was I can't remember, but he knows on Facebook. He hit me up specifically about this. It's like he's like, yo, how could you say that he's the best opponent? And it's the shit talking.
He's the best foil. Like,
the fearless nature of him, though, Matt. He's not afraid of Mayweather. He's not going to do things cookie cutter Mayweather, way. And that's important. He's the perfect villain. And, the Lamborghini just goes with the entire, magnitude of this event. It wouldn't be right for, I guess he could get it off if he was in, maybe Paulie's right. I mean, any fighter can get it off. Doesn't matter how big, actor, movie star, doesn't matter how big you are. You can always get it off pulling up to an event, gym, hotel, red carpet, in an Escalade, in a black Tahoe. Oh, it's got to be all black though. We know this, limousine style Escalades, black Tahoe. So it's true. He didn't have to spend probably $2,500 a day, but it makes him look a whole lot better. Sells the fight, right? No, or does it not sell tickets?
No, I think.
I mean, he knew he was going to be on All Access, so it's not like he's just driving around town. He wanted those shots.
And he picked green because of Ireland and all that. Yeah, I think like everything we saw in those All Access videos, everything we've seen from either of these guys on social media, it's all been calculated. Everything's been highly calculated.
But you have to admit, you are very pessimistic when it comes to this entire event. You don't trust it at all.
What? How am I pessimistic?
You're hesitant about everything. You feel that a lot of things are staged, choreographed, premeditated.
Or Voltron, like that. That was
exactly calculated. That proved to be premeditated. It proved to be staged. I mean, so I'm not saying you're wrong in your thinking. I'm just saying you are the one on this team that is I'm optimistic. I'm like, man, he's got the green Lambo. Fuck it, do it. You know, man, he knocked out Paulie. Oh shit, he could do because I want this event. I want it to turn out good for everyone. I want us to be happy, and I also believe in Conor in the sense that I don't think he's just gonna do an Adrian Broner, and I hate to compare him because I know Broner's accomplished, but I don't think Conor's gonna keep his hands in his pocket the entire 12 rounds. He's going to try, even if it ends up Victor Ortiz style. I'm telling you.
Very quickly, I love the fact that you say that because a few months ago, you shit on me for an hour in the show when I said, I think Conor McGregor believes he can win. And you did not believe that. I think that's funny that you switched your tuning up. But that's not my main point. That's not my main point.
Everyone believes they can win.
You okay, whatever. Not my main point. And what do you want the truth to be in this situation? Do you want it to be that Conor knocked him down?
You know, I like Paulie, and you know he's a friend of the show. Mayweather Pacquiao, the next day, Sunday, he was on our show. So I don't want Conor to be telling the truth, and then Paulie's known as a liar. But I do want the truth.
But that's not what I asked, though, because I think we all want the truth. But
that's
the best. Want that truth to be?
I want the truth, but I'm telling you that if the truth, that's a cop out. No, it's not a cop out. I'm telling you, if the truth is that Paulie did get knocked down, it's damaging, especially at the end of his career without a fight to change things. It's damaging. So I don't want that truth to be real, but I understand the reality I live in, and if that is the truth, that's what I want, because I don't want to be, lied to. I'm already invested. You got my money. Don't lie. I'm here.
I mean, I really don't want to say what I want the truth to be because me and Paulie have a history, but
I guess you said it all. You want Paulie to be lying.
I think it'd be very funny, to say the least. I think it would definitely hype up the fight. Like, I'll put it this way. If we get the truth, I want it to be before the fight. I don't want it to be afterwards. Because afterwards, it doesn't matter at that point. Right?
It doesn't, not one bit.
Because, it really only matters now, before the fight. Afterwards, when Conor gets whitewashed for 12 rounds or 8 rounds or however long he goes, and we go back to the realization, these are different sports. There's levels to this game, and when all the casuals realize that, again, this won't matter.
I know people believe that the sparring won't be leaked. And I know Paulie said that the video exists. The UFC has cameras. It's there, was recording. I wonder, would this video go down like the Floyd Mayweather and Paul Spadafora video? Where, and this is just to give my casual fans and MMA fans that stumbled on this video a reason to believe Paulie. Once upon a time, there was a underachiever from Pittsburgh, I will call him. He did win a world title, but throughout his entire career, he became to be an underachiever. But Paul Spadafora, the Pittsburgh kid, I believe his name is, he had an epic sparring session with Floyd that really carried his name through so much. His career had so many,
about him.
Yes. And his career has so many ups and downs. I mean, he shot his wife or a girlfriend. It was so many things. But the fact that he allegedly, or not allegedly, but the fact that the public, an overwhelming public, felt he beat or exposed Mayweather in sparring, dude, people would even ask for that fight. They even wanted that fight. So that, I say all that to say this, Matt. There's a strong possibility that, guess what? Even though this is not going to be the popular opinion right now, Paulie probably did beat up Conor McGregor in sparring. That's why he's so furious. That's why he's letting us know that there's video. It's not Team McGregor telling us that there is video. But when do we get it? Does Conor go to, because I mean, with Conor's attitude, a pinstripe suit saying "fuck you," you would think he would leak the footage 15 seconds with the caption, "Paulie, fuck you." If it's true, it's true. I mean, that's his style.
True. I agree with that. I think the simplest answer to what is the truth is probably what Paulie is saying, because he's the one saying it. And Paulie really doesn't have a long or any really history of being a liar. Paulie's usually been a very straight shooter and very truthful and a kind of upfront to the point where it may be detrimental, I would say, actually. He's almost too honest at times. So I doubt that what he is saying is untrue. He may be exaggerating a bit. I don't think he whooped his ass like he is saying. I think it was probably a really great sparring session that was back and forth, and Conor got a bunch of licks in, and then Paulie got his back. And I bet it was a push. I bet it got a little bit rough and on the inside, and Conor pushed him. I can see that, and I don't think that's a bad thing either. But again, it really has no significance to the fight. Like I really want to address that as well. Like this is the dose of reality for everyone. No matter what happened in that sparring session, Conor is still getting outclassed by Floyd August 26th.
Hey guys, if you're watching this video in the future, present, or past, depending on what country or place you're in, hit that thumbs up button. Helps with the visibility of the show. Gets another bunch of dozens of other great callers in here to give their take. So if the thumbs up is gray, it should be blue. It means you're not doing it right. Hit that thumbs up. Matt, you know, you said that the timing of when it's released, it's significant to you because you said after it would not make any sense, before it makes the most sense. I'll tell you this. If Conor isn't lying and he did drop Paulie, I believe it is in his best interest to leak it now. I'll tell you two reasons.
Does he wait till fight week?
I don't care when he does it.
The most media in town, where it's the most buzz.
I mean, I don't care when he does it. I think that he needs to do it now, and I'll tell you why. You do it now, and then people think you really have a shot. A knockdown, he could have still got beat up in sparring, but that changes the perception of how sparring went. You understand? Mm-hmm. And the second thing is, you don't want to have Paulie Malignaggi live on Showtime calling your fight still with this bitter resentment in him. You know, the last thing you want to do is have him up there on Showtime calling your fight, talking about, I knew this was going to happen. I was sparring with him. I don't know. I don't even want to begin to imagine some of the things that a person who is as angry as Paulie seems can say live on air. So I'm just saying, nip that in the bud, leak that shit now.
Hold on. Does leaking it nip that in the bud?
Absolutely. He becomes a liar. His credibility is shot. His shot. You leak that now, he might not even be an announcer for this fight. I'm telling you. Maybe he is, because they're gonna Showtime will look at it from a reality TV standpoint, think of drama ratings, and say, fuck it, let's put him on. But you gotta leak it now. You don't leak it now, God knows what he says on that telecast.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Listen, if this were the court of law, the prosecution would absolutely leak that footage so that when they call Paulie to the stand, his credibility is shot in front of the eyes of the jury. But listen, this has been the Boxing Voice Rumor Mill. We're going to go out to the phone lines. Before we do so, we're going to get a word. Sorry about that. We're going to get a word from our sponsors and then go to the phone lines. The number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion on Conor McGregor's photographer saying that Paulie Malignaggi was knocked down and there is absolutely no conspiracy. International callers, add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. We're going to go out to the sponsors and then to the callers.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
We're going out to the Longhorn State. in Texas, Class and Bound. Talk to us.
Hey. Yeah, so I saw the little thing. Quickly, I mean, it's Conor McGregor's photographer, so I'm sure if he had anything to say about this, I mean, it would always be positive. I doubt he would ever, like, do something or spell something negative on the person he works for. So I think it's not even that serious. As for Paulie, though, I'm going to say this. I feel that he has a right to be upset and a right to be angry, because no one ever wants to be painted in a negative light. Like if tomorrow morning I made a video called Matt the Hipster, you know, does so and so. I dropped him 5 times in the street because he looked at me wrong, like, you know, and it wasn't true. But I have a photo of him just on the ground, and I just told him to get on the ground. People would be upset about it. Well, he would be really upset about it, wouldn't he? So it's like, you know, if it isn't true, then I understand why Paulie is getting the way he is. And Paulie's never been the kind of guy. The only time I've ever had a doubt about him was when he was talking about Manny Pacquiao on performance-enhancing drugs, because that's never been proven up to this date. But other than that, Paulie's been really solid on just about everything else, and like one of the most real people in boxing today. But that's all I've got for you guys. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. And Conor's just going to get washed anyway, so like it's not a big deal.
Class and Bound, thank you for calling in and making some great points. You know what, Matt? He's got a point, man. And that's what I mean about ruining Paulie's credibility. If there is video, you do that now, you damage it, and it ruins it. His credibility is shot. But right now, even though Class and Bound didn't like that Manny Pacquiao thing, I mean, you didn't see Manny Pacquiao put a lawsuit on Paulie the way he did on Floyd. Paulie has never stopped talking about that. You can Google that now, and people are still doing interviews with Paulie on that, and he's giving you his personal story, because remember, he trained in the wild card gym, so he has his own experiences. You know what I mean? He doesn't ever come out and say certain things, but he definitely says certain things. But let's keep those phone lines moving unless you got anything.
No, I'm good.
Going out to Atlanta, the home of the Milkman. And you know he's told us before.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Strap me up. Who's next? I got milk, baby.
Yeah. The Milkman is back. Before I get into the Paulie and Conor news, hey man, can y'all double check and make sure y'all's email is working? Every time I send an email, it gets kicked back saying that it can't find the email address. So maybe Matt, can you send a test email or something just to verify it?
We'll have Matt text you right now. We'll have Matt text you.
I'll text you.
Is this number textable?
Yeah.
All right,
I'll text you.
All right, and then man, you know, all right, man, let's go ahead and cue the X-Files music. Go ahead. Man, now just kind of open your mind a little bit. Open your third eye with possibilities. What if this whole thing is orchestrated and calculated? What if the conspiracy is to make it look like there's a conspiracy? Before Paulie got on with the McGregor camp, he said he wasn't doing it for money. He was looking at the future opportunities it would bring, maybe the networking opportunities. So by Paulie being in the limelight right now, a lot of people know Paulie's name, and a lot of people are interested in what he has to say. So some opportunities may come from this, maybe some more announcing opportunities, maybe some radio opportunities, maybe some, if you really want to stretch it, maybe some reality TV opportunities. So what if this whole thing is calculated, man? I'll leave you with that.
Well, we're definitely bouncing that one back around. I mean, Matt thinks it's all calculated.
I didn't say that.
What do you mean? Didn't you say you thought it was orchestrated?
I don't think Paulie's side is orchestrated.
All right. 760. First time caller, 760.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? First time caller?
Yeah, my first time.
All right, brother. I'm going to go ahead and play this first time caller intro. Then you let us know your name, where you're calling from, and you give us your take on this topic, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Arthur.
Eric?
Arthur.
Arthur.
California.
From Cali. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? I'm here. Chill it. Man, I think Conor fucking dropped Paulie, man.
Why do you think he dropped Paulie?
I don't know. He has them hands, dude. He dropped them. Just Paulie just being a little bitch.
So you're saying he doesn't want the
Little
truth
weenie.
out?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
sort of
man.
a shot? What
Conor's
sort of a
a
shot you
boy.
giving Conor on fight night?
Knockout. In
You-
the last round.
You picking Conor to knock out Floyd in the 12th?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Just like he did to Pacquiao. Well, he gets laughing.
Just how what? You said just how what?
Just like Marcus knocked out Pacquiao.
Oh, just like
I
Mark.
hope. I'm gonna pray. Boom.
All right, Arthur, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Hey, there's gonna be a lot of people praying that Mayweather gets knocked out, man. They've been wanting this guy to lose for a very long time. We're gonna go out to our IG master.
I won't deny you.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
Come with me. Hail Mary, run quick, see what do we have here now?
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Everybody fight that. Like the Uno.
Dollar DiBiase Productions.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Alex?
Hey, what's going on, Ness, Matt? Hey, I don't believe it for 1 second, man. I don't believe this guy. He's the cameraman, man. He's part of the camp. He's going to back McGregor. That was the whole point. Paulie was no friend. He was brought in not as a friend. He was brought in to be embarrassed. We all gave Conor too much credit, thinking Conor was bringing Paulie in to help Conor with the art of boxing. And we gave him too much credit. Paulie gave him too much credit. I mean, the first thing Paulie should have said was, yo, where's my paycheck? I don't know why he didn't get paid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then about the McGregor not having no marks on him. I just seen that picture of Malignaggi and Loma. And Malignaggi, he got dominated that whole fight, and he didn't have one mark on his face. That was after the fight. And so another thing, though.
Who the fuck is that guy?
People saying, right, saying Paulie's lying. If there's a video that could surface that would damage his credibility, he's a commentator now. That could damage that could jeopardize his career. Why would he lie? If there's a video that could prove that he's lying, because then no one's going to respect him as a commentator. So I believe it was a knockdown.
Alex, man, thanks for the check-in. We're going out to the UK to Coach Mitty. Mitty, you available for us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. What's going on?
All right, I'm good. To be honest, I really don't know if we ever gonna know the truth about the knockdown, and because surely, what happened in sparring, like, you never really know unless you're there or you have like a very trusted friend that was there to see it and will tell you exactly what happened, right? But I don't think it even matters, right, whether it was knocked down or not, because the reality is, when I heard what Paulie was saying that they're doing 8 and 12 rounds, I was very surprised, because Malignaggi is not even in camp or anything, and he's coming to help him, and he's going straight into doing 8 and 12 rounds. He's not in shape, and I'm sure his timing must be off and everything. So definitely I can feel that he's telling the truth when he's saying that the McGregor camp is trying to take advantage of him, trying to push him to do too many rounds for someone who is not fit. He was not brought in to help Conor to go to build his fitness throughout the round. He was brought in for working on technical stuff and tactical stuff. So if they're trying to go 12 rounds, then yes, I can understand that he's saying that they're trying to take the piece and try to make it competitive. But the one thing that I picked up from what Paulie said, and that was the most interesting thing for me, it did say that, you know, Conor is a fighter, and that's the truth. But the truth is that we don't know how he's going to win, because Paulie said that when he gets in close, he doesn't really like it. And I can believe that, because working close to the body is probably what Malignaggi did to him, and he probably found it awkward to defend, because I think in the MMA, they don't really go in close with the boxing, right? So when they're in close, they have to defend like takedown and stuff like that. So I think that's the most interesting things that he said. And I think that Floyd, it could be a strategy for Floyd to go and make it an inside fight, because it's not enough time for Conor to work on all the subtle things that you have to do to defend and to work when you're in close and fighting inside. So knockdown or no knockdown, you know, I don't know if we're ever going to know. And even if it happened, I don't think it damages like Paulie, because once you go past 5-6 rounds with someone who is not fit, is not in, you know, he's not in camp, he doesn't have his timing right, knockdowns can happen. It happens all the time, whether you're world champ or anything. If you go into camp and you're not ready, and you know, and the other guy is obviously ready because he's fighting in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, then yeah, he's gonna have the advantage in terms of like the physical advantages. So that's all.
Coach, thanks for calling in. Yo, you know, he said something interesting, Matt. The inside work. It's true. For an MMA guy, he's probably ready to grab or, you know, a hold. Boxers kind of punch on the inside, go for body shots, uppercuts. What do you think about that? That was an interesting point he made.
It was an interesting point. And also, there's credence to it also within MMA. Nate Diaz, younger brother than Nate Diaz brothers, you know, had 2 fights with Conor McGregor. And there is numerous times, especially in the second fight, in the 3rd round, and I think it's the 5th round as well, where he got in close and was able to unload like a 8-piece combination at him and really rough him up. And also just the idea that the inside work in MMA is so vastly different than boxing that a straight boxer knows how to manipulate the inside, the clinch in a different way than an MMA fighter. And it will be more successful boxing that way, because MMA fighters used to throwing elbows, maybe getting a Muay Thai clinch and throwing a knee, dropping, going for a takedown. There's so many different things you can do on the inside that is not boxing. While a boxer is purely thinking about how can I box on the inside. So it does take some getting used to.
I agree. I like that point that Mitty brought up. Coach, as always, valuable information to the show. We're going to keep the phone lines moving from the coach in the UK back to the Longhorn State of Texas. None other than our former pro boxer, JD.
JD, motherfucker. There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game, my boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me, but I'm a 54-pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Have we ever known, let's talk about credibility for a minute. Have we ever known Paulie throughout the course of his career, and we talking, I don't know how many years, what is it, like, it's over 10. It's got to be like close to 15 years. Never heard no bullshit about Paulie doing nothing. I haven't, me personally. I don't know if you guys. But Matt, maybe you're the UFC guy. Maybe you can help me out. Has Conor ever been in any kind of, like, you know, bullshit story to where he lied about something?
No, not that I can think of.
I'm gonna
to be honest. Nothing in terms of lying. Nothing like this. The pictures were within the norm. I'll say that. He's known for having a photographer in his camp all the time, taking stylized pictures like that, and he posts them all the time. That is very common. The lying or the I don't. I've no history of that. With
okay, let me ask this. This is a better question. They both got losses, right? When Paulie lost, I remember him crying. I remember him crying. After he announced his retirement maybe a few times, but I don't remember no excuses. What about your guy over there? Was there any, excuses, any kind of...
I can't speak for his early losses in his career. I can't speak for his early losses in his career because I just wasn't following him because he had like 2 losses within his first 5 fights. But the Nate Diaz loss, which is obviously was very big, that was over 1 million pay-per-view buys for that fight. He was very humble in the cage at the press conference after the fight. Saying that the better man won, that he overlooked him, that he thought he could just run over him, and he was incorrect. He was very humble, I would say.
I just want to add, JD, since you're looking for credibility, I just want to add that Van Heerden came out in a FightHype.com video saying that he agrees with Paulie and with how Paulie feels in terms of McGregor and his boxing skills. So I don't know. Van Heerden, obviously the former sparring partner. We know about Paulie, but who else is in there sparring with him? Why can't we? We need to find out those other names and get them on the show.
In terms of boxers?
And,
obviously, I hope he's not sparring with MMA fighters.
He is still.
Yeah, he's losing.
Yo, you know what, man? None of it really matters at the end of the day. None of it really matters because at the end of the day, we all 90% of us know what's gonna happen, man. But that's my time.
All right, JD. I don't know, man. Majid, talk to us in Orlando.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What up?
Yeah, so like I said to y'all before, I feel like those pictures is bullshit and they made them to fuck with our heads.
Yeah, you did say that.
His photographer obviously getting paid, so why the fuck would he put that shit in jeopardize if Conor McGregor was getting chipped up? Him throwing that video out there, he ain't gonna have no more paychecks. This is a big ass profile fight, so the way I see it, anything he say, whatever he leak, if he ain't showing the real videos, then they not saying shit, And then when we put all that shit out the window, he wanted Paulie Malignaggi to prove a point for all the shit he was talking. So when they in there sparring, if Paulie was whooping his ass, I could see Conor McGregor doing some MMA shit just to show him, like, I'll beat your ass at any given time. Fuck this boxing stuff. He's not gonna get DQ'd in sparring. The way I see it, it's still a flop of bullshit. And the Van Heerden dude or whatever that they sparred before that, when they had those pictures and it just was surfacing like that, it looked like Conor McGregor was whooping his ass. But then when they brought out they part of the video, it looked like, it was different. You see Conor McGregor getting hit and everything. We know that he ain't perfect in boxing. You always get hit, even if you're whooping somebody's ass, and he just making himself look like Mr. Perfect. And then it's fucking Paulie Malignaggi. We forgot that. Amir Khan ran through him. Sean Porter ran through him. He got bad hands, so you don't got to worry about getting buzzed or knocked out. So, and he was out of shape. Like, come on, anybody that been in the ring know that Conor McGregor is still a world champion. He's still strong, got endurance. His hands might not be the sharpest, but in sparring, he'll fuck Paulie up and just go dirty whenever he ready to. And hey, shit that Paulie could do, So I still call bullshit, and it's just a hype to sell more tickets, I don't think that video gonna be leaked out because Paulie he ain't had nobody recording it, so it's just another picture fucking with our heads, and then for all we know, his fucking photographer just got paid more money to say that bullshit. If you don't got the video for the proof, then that ain't real shit, and only the casual fans gonna fall into that bullshit. Oh yeah, I think Paulie got dropped and was lying. What the fuck he need to lie for? I call bullshit on it, man. But that's all I got. Oh yeah, wait. One more thing. Y'all, the TBV. I heard you say something about TBV fighters or something like that. Like, I wanted to know more about it.
Get on Patreon, bro. We're having the second Border Wars season 2 is going to be going down in January, and we already got, actually it's kind of closed already, Majid. So it's we actually closed it today. We have too many fighters at this point, but yeah, you got to get on Patreon. You heard that sound? It is Drive-By. This is a spontaneous show. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, make sure that you subscribe to the channel right here. Why? Because, you want to get that notification so that you can actually get online sooner. Because now you're on Drive-By. Everybody's getting 30 seconds. And, don't get mad. Don't get mad.
It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal.
But only on our Thursday and Sunday flagship shows is where we give each of our callers one entire round, boxing round, to give their opinion on these spontaneous shows. We tend to add the Drive-By towards the end to keep them to a certain length. So we're going to go back out to the callers. We're going out to the 281. Chad, talk to us in Houston.
Hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good. Talk to us.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Cool, man. Hey, man, I just think that Paulie is actually I think Paulie's kind of full of it. I think that if you remember back to the Adrian Broner side piece thing, how mad he got and how much he wanted to prove the point that she was just a side piece when it might have been actually his girlfriend at the time or whatever that Adrian was getting down with, basically. So I just think that the fact that he's just trying to go out of his way to kind of prove the picture's wrong, kind of paints a picture for me, kind of reminds me of back when he fought Broner. So I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Cut it. Chad, thanks for calling in. We're going out to some alumni.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all day, not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next, what great show. Come stop, donate. Hey, yo. Malignaggi B. I know I only got 30 seconds on. Let me make my shit quick. Everybody out there, you watching the show, subscribe to YouTube. Enjoy me on this show. Let's talk some shit about boxing. Conor McGregor, bro. This man could be fucking right, though. I don't know. Malignaggi said one time on YouTube that every person got a prize. And I got a problem trusting somebody with that type of thing.
Cut it. Going out from Boston to New Jersey. Talk to us.
Yo, real quick, Ness, I'm from North Newark, B. So I'm going back to First Avenue School.
Damn.
If you said you whooped somebody's ass.
Damn.
If you said you whooped somebody's ass, you either had to have witnesses or the footage. Paulie is screaming for the footage, so he whooped that boy's ass. That's my call.
All right, we're going out to Nebraska. Cedric, talk to us.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Real quick, when that wasn't Paulie all marked up after the first sparring session, and another thing, real quick, if you look at the post-fight interviews after the conference, McGregor didn't give a fuck about Paulie. He said that he's going to come to the gym and they're going to fight. Paulie feels like he was mistreated. He was treated like every other sparring partner. He felt like he needed to be treated better. And Paulie admitted he didn't get paid because he didn't finish his contract. I don't think Conor cared. Cut
it. All right, listen, we got a bunch of first-time callers coming up. If you know you've never called into this show, when you hear your area code, I'm probably talking to you. So the first thing out of your mouth should be, yes, I'm a first-time caller. We'll play the intro. You'll say your name, where you're from, and get into your call. It is Drive-By. No time for mistakes. Don't stutter. And don't two-step. Matt, you ready? He was born ready. 4, 1, 2. 4, 1, 2. 4, 4, 3. Go.
JP, Pittsburgh. First time caller.
Well, JD, I was going to play that intro for you, but go ahead and get into the call.
Yeah, what does it matter if you punch him? What does it matter if you punch him and knock him down or shove him and knock him down? He told Floyd he's going to be in a fight. Floyd's a great boxer, not a great fighter. Maybe he wants him to be uncomfortable. So it doesn't really matter either way. You got shoved down. Floyd's not shoving Conor down, that's for sure. And that's it.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Matt, you know, that is true. Conor does have at least 1 to 2 push downs before a referee gives him a stern warning, which could result in a point deduction in the next infraction. And making Floyd uncomfortable sounds like a plan that many would like to use, but don't ever get to execute it properly. I mean, Maidana had rounds, spurts of that, but never something for 12 sustained rounds.
True. We won't know until fight night.
Matt is so corny. 202, first time caller. What's your name? 212, your first time caller. 202, first time caller. Going once.
Oh, 202?
Yes, sir.
First time caller. All
right, I'm going to play this intro. Let the world know your name. Where you calling from?
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Mike from DC.
Mike from DC, talk to us.
First of all, Pauline never lied to us. The side piece was a side piece. The footage is doctored. He was probably pushed down, and whatever he says happened is what happened. We have no reason not to trust Paulie, and Conor has 0 chance. That's it. All right.
All right. Matt, what do you think about Andre Berto coming out on an MMA interview saying that he believes Conor McGregor is special and has a legitimate shot at beating Floyd? Is he just bitter that he lost?
That's possible. I do know that is sort of like a narrative within the MMA media, or at least the fandom, that Conor's the special guy, that he calls it, Mystic Mac, that name, that he predicts these things and they happen, they come to fruition, like that. He almost has a cult of personality around him, to be honest. So I think Andre Berto's sort of bought into the hype and a little bit bitter, maybe.
All right. Well, remember, if you're a first-time caller, you hear your area code, say you're a first-time caller. We're going out to the 760 area code number 867. First-time caller.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Vinny from Victorville. Yo, all I want to say is that just look at how long it took for the Spence and Mayweather sparring information to come out. That shit took years to come out. We didn't know until it was years later that Spence was actually the one that put the hands on Mayweather. So we ain't really going to find out anytime soon if that knockdown was real or not. That's all I got to say. Mayweather got all the champs in the world to knock that dude out. I'm out.
Jimmy, thanks for calling in. Rico in San Antonio, talk to us.
Just got to say real quick, I think it's all orchestrated. With all the people that was calling before saying it's orchestrated. You could tell by the picture it's not a knockdown, though. You could tell by the position of Paulie. You could tell by the ref. You could tell it's not a real knockdown if you know about boxing. And, yeah, that's my call. I just got to say 70% of McGregor's fans, they just don't want to see a dude from Mayweather's type of background win. That's why they don't like Mayweather. So that's my call.
Rico, thanks for calling in. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If it's gray, it should be blue. It helps us here on the panel know that you like this type of content. This way we could bring more to you. Remember, if you're a first-time caller, let us know when you hear your area code. We're going out to the 707-712. First-time caller, 707-712.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, Tokyo Swish, man, out in Cali, man. Hey, first off, I just want to say, who gets thrown to the floor and the picture is taken while you laying on your back? I've got thrown to the floor, but you don't just lay on your back like that. Second off, forget the picture, forget the talk and the hype and all this stuff like that. Paulie left the camp. No matter what happened, he left the camp because he felt a certain type of way, because he's tissue soft. You know what I'm saying? He's not the person that he, kind of should even be sparring with. That was just a statement. The only person I'm checking for is Checo, whatever. When he gets in there and spars with Conor, he tells us how we doing, then we can take some credibility. Because everybody else in the boxing industry is washed outside of the champ. You feel me? Before you even... Cut it.
Tokyo Swish, man. It's drive-by, so you get 30 seconds. So I want you to call back in, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get those notifications, bro. We're going to have to talk. I don't know. He said everybody's washed outside of Lomachenko. That is a subject in its own. And guess what? You're in luck, buddy. Make sure you subscribe today because we're doing a Lomachenko Rigondeaux show, and Lomachenko called out everybody in the 1:30, and we're going to discuss that maybe what time, Matt? 7 p.m., 8 p.m.? What time you want? I don't know. Matt will tell you in a bit. We're going out to CT in Connecticut. Matt, it's drive-by.
Hey, what up, man? How you doing, Matt?
We're good.
Good. I just think it's kind of hearsay, Yeah, man. It's unfortunate no video was other than that's why Paul is saying show the link. You know what I mean? Show the video. It's only pictures, so it's only so much we can go by. Not too much. You can say. I mean, there's one picture of kind of jumping in the air, so I don't know how to really call that. You know what I mean? Just unfortunate. But I kind of believe Paul is saying, show some type of video to show your proof, not just pictures. Cut it.
Dennis in Florida, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's up? Thanks for letting me participate. This is a rare treat. Yo, he was busted for his mouth, not his gloves. I thought he was going to do some like a los golpes shit. They're in a ring with big gloves and Paulie talks him into how to fight. So if he smacked him, that's what fighters do. They hit each other. What the hell he's doing there for 12 rounds? Now he's a fat fuck. He's got no business fighting. He should make money with his mouth and forget about his fist. That's why he retired. With that, I'm out.
Dennis, thanks for calling in. Matt, he's got a point, man. I mean, why the hell would Paulie come off the plane and do 12? Like, even in my gym, you've been there. You've seen pros.
For the record, when he first got to Vegas, he did not do 12, but the second time he did.
It doesn't matter, bro. Marcus Brown's been on my gym. Paul Wolak. I mean,
Richard Comey.
So many people are in that gym. They're doing 3, 4, 6, 7, not 12 with one person. And the guy that's doing all those rounds, he's getting fresh guys. When Marcus comes to get sparring, 2, 3 guys get in the ring with Marcus. So, yeah, Marcus gets up to 7, 10 rounds, but not with one guy. So, if, I don't know. I don't know. JD said it best, bro. I mean, excuse me, Coach Mitty said it best. It could be true. If they made this guy who's been a commentator for so long now, fight 12 rounds, I don't know. We're going back out. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a first-time caller, we're talking to you. And we're going to play that first-time caller intro. You're going to tell us your name and get right into your call. Also, don't forget to say where you're calling from. 347-223. 347-223. First-time caller?
First-time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, Jonas Richardson from New Jersey, Newark. Yeah, and then I think it was a push down, and then I actually think it
Conor is cheap for the simple fact that when he was on the the second episode, he wound up, I fucked up.
What happened?
Yeah, I actually think Conor was cheap for the simple fact when Floyd was waiting for him to get off his flight up in the lobby on the second episode, on the third episode,
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, do not take it personal. You know, this is a not immediate, but a spontaneous show. So it's just one of those days when we call, you get 30 seconds. So when you hear that, don't take it personal. 740-740-605. First time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yo, what's up?
Your name, sir?
Is this me?
Yes, your name?
Zach Parnell.
Zach, where you calling from, my friend?
Yeah, what's up? Oh, over here in Ohio.
Talk to us, Zach. What's on your mind on this topic?
Man, I don't know about this fight because I don't know about boxing or anything, but I know when Conor gets in that ring, he does something special. And have you guys seen that Jose Aldo fight? I know that's something different because if Jose had something longer, you don't know how that fight would have went.
Matt,
that is true. That was a 13-second fight.
Exactly, and when you get in that boxing ring, it's a whole different place because you know what I mean.
Mac Daddy Zach, it's a drive-by show right now. You only get 30 seconds. You're gonna have to call back. We're going from Zach in Ohio to Mike Jerry. Talk to us.
Hey man, it's just adding to the conversation for boxers versus MMA fighters. Conor, he gonna fuck around and get his ass really whooped. If you don't think Mayweather listening to this, he definitely is. All right, that's my call, fellas.
Mike Jerry, thanks for calling in. We're going out to the 734-796. 734-796. Obvious first-time caller. We're going to play the first-time caller intro. You say your name, where you're calling from.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Perry Craze, Detroit, Michigan. I think you guys ate the candy. It ain't about boxing. It's about business. Reigning in the new king and out with the old. Did y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I got. It's not about boxing. It's business.
All right, brother. Not about boxing. It's business. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to John Wolf from Louisiana.
I think it's all things. I think Conor McGregor is using Floyd to make it look like he's got a chance against Floyd, but I really think it's all things. That's all I got.
All right, John. We're going out to the 216-376. 216-376. First-time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
What's up? This is Taz from Cleveland, Ohio, representing the boxing office, all new idea boxing office. First thing I want to say is look at the picture, look at where the referee is standing, look at where Conor is standing, look at where Malignaggi is laying on the ground at. It looks like he pushed him halfway across the ring, you know, just from looking at the picture, if you observe it pretty good. Second thing I want to say is how many knockouts have Conor had after he has jumped on somebody, after he has knocked them down? We have to include that when it comes to knockdowns and knockouts. How many knockouts does he have after he's able to jump on somebody? In the UFC, you can jump on somebody after you knock them down.
Cut it. 630-608. 630-608. First time caller.
How's it going? Yeah, I'm a first time caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
And I'm Steven. I'm from Illinois, and I've been boxing for about like 8 years. So I actually done a lot of research on this fight, and my boxing trainer actually thinks Mayweather's going to win, but I actually kind of think McGregor's got a chance because he's a southpaw. Mayweather is bad against southpaws, and I watched if you see Paulie's face after, like, in his recent interviews, it's all messed up. He looks like he got a beating. And in an interview, Paulie said, "Oh yeah, like this didn't even feel like a sparring match. It more felt like a real fight." So I'm pretty sure that Mayweather actually has never ever faced an opponent like Conor McGregor.
Steven, you said you're from Ohio?
And yeah, cut
it. Matt, you getting it? 509-820. 509-820. First time caller?
What it do? First time.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
All right. Tristan from Washington Tri-Cities. Here's my take on this. I think that Paulie probably got his ass beat, and he just doesn't want to have the real video come out, so he's pretending like he didn't, and he's pretending that he wants it to show out, even though he got his ass beat. He's just trying to play big boy. That's my take.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We're going to go out to the 604-726. 604-726. First time caller.
You're right then.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Professional, that's right. Lewis, Dublin, Ireland, calling out of Canada at the moment. Listen, facts is facts. This is just a picture. There's many different ways to tell a tale. And it's just one little snapshot. Do I think he got knocked down? Not really. Does it matter? No, not really. It's just it's all for the hype, all for the show.
All right. Well, great call, my friend. Thanks for calling in. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be back with another show later on tonight on Lomachenko. We're going out to the 443-626. 443-626. First time caller. Four 443-626. First time caller.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Gabriel Williams from Baltimore City.
William, what's up?
Man, I think McGregor gonna lose. He cannot do nothing with Floyd. Everybody underestimates Floyd. Floyd keep himself in shape, and I think he didn't not Paul down. He pushed him down because he probably got frustrated from getting beat up. And I think that's what's going to happen against Floyd. And he just trying to make him look bad for real. And that's the reason why they didn't put the video out. They put a picture out. And then you look at the headgear that Paulie had when they was sparring. McGregor got way more protection than Paulie did. That's why his face looked like that. And yeah, Floyd going to win that fight. And I think McGregor going to get frustrated. He can't hit Floyd. And that's all I got.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. Gabe, Salt Lake City, talk to me.
Yo, what's going on? I'm going to kind of, backpack off one of the guys that called. He just said it doesn't matter if it's true or not true. It's to get people hyped. And this show is a prime example, man. I haven't heard this many first-time callers in a while. So it's eventually doing its job. It's getting it rolling. The other thing is, you play that interview Paulie did earlier. Paulie's like, "Oh, I'm not going to give any info out in boxing. I have ethics." But then he releases that Mayweather can't take a body punch, that he screams or he squeals like a little girl. I don't know if I've been on and off on this show. Can you guys touch up on that? And that's my call.
Yeah, I did not see that quote about Mayweather squealing like a girl. That's going to be something to
I
read.
saw that.
Oh, yeah? Look at that. The hipster hunts are always on it. Well, it is that time. We got a bunch of callers still out there. We are sorry. We do got to cut it. This is a spontaneous show. If you enjoyed the fun, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get those notifications every time me and the Hipster Hunter go live. You know, we discuss various topics around here, and we're staying definitely on the beat when it comes to this Mayweather-McGregor fight. So if you're interested in this, we've done dozens of shows already on other topics, and we'll be doing a lot more. I'm actually flying to Mayweather's gym, and Matt's going to meet me out in Vegas. So the both of us will be in Vegas on Wednesday and get to be with Mayweather firsthand. We probably should have said that in the beginning, but whatever. If you didn't stick around till this long, we don't need you anyway. But my final thoughts on this is pretty much like maybe Gabe, right? I think he just said, doesn't matter. If it happened, it happened. If it did, it didn't. As a fight fan, that's how I feel. As a man, I kind of feel like there needs to be closure on this topic. We need to know who's the liar. We need to know who's disingenuous, just disingenuous for real. I don't think that we should be forever like assuming that Paulie lied or that McGregor knocked him down. Like, I mean, it would be unfair. I'm just saying it would be unfair. That's my final thought. I want resolution for sure. I want a definitive answer, whether it be now or later. I want it. Oh, and my name is Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO. Follow me on Patreon. I'm dropping a new series. So all my Patreons, you're going to get something totally new. It's going to be this vlogging series as we get on this 5-month weight loss journey for this big fight I got coming up in January. The Dominican Nightmare, a.k.a. Young Ali, back in the building, coming off that knockdown win. So, yeah. Follow me on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice for that new vlog series coming out, and on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO.
And my final thought, I think this spectacle, this circus match that we have, we should accept it for what it is. And again, we can be hyped on it. I'm hyped on it. But I know what it is. This is a money grab. It's a cash grab. And it's made for the casuals to be invested. And that's fine. It's supposed to be about the drama, the soap opera of prize fighting. And there's times when that's okay. There's times when that's acceptable in these two sports. But we just have to call it out for what it is. I'm Matt, the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios, on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Facebook, etc. Peace.
Peace.